Hi, everybody, and welcome to the ATMC TV High School football game of the week tonight. The Cougars of South Brunswick High School play host to the visiting Midway Raiders from Dunn, North Carolina. Hi, everybody. I'm Jay Combs, joined by Dr. Michael Maurer. Sam Hickman is on assignment. Both teams come into this game off opening week wins. The South Brunswick defense pitched a shutout in their 15-0 road victory against Richlands. Michael, that Cougar defense is a confident bunch. They are led by senior linebacker Shelton Bocook and junior linebacker Garrett Frazier.
That's right. Shelton came into the game, or coming into this week after an opening win versus Richland, had 13 tackles, 2 for a loss. He also had 51 tackles in the spring season. He's also joined by Garrett Frazier, junior linebacker. Last week, 9 tackles, 3 tackles for a loss. Very active, very tough. South Brunswick's going to have a good go of it today because they're going against the Midway Raiders. Record-setting performance by the quarterback on Midway.
Absolutely. The Raiders were involved in a shootout in their season opening victory against Hobton. They won the game 80-73, and that game was in regulation. It wasn't an overtime game, so a big-time shootout last week in their opener. And in that game, as Mike mentioned, Raider senior quarterback Wyatt Holland set a new state single-game record with 10 touchdown passes. Mike, 10 touchdown passes in a season for some quarterbacks. This kid Holland did it in one game.
Yeah, I think he had 22 touchdowns in 7 games last season. Did drop 10 in one game. It's pretty impressive. South's going to have their work cut out for them. It'll be interesting to see what kind of pressure they can get on the quarterback, what kind of movement they can create up front.
Well, clearly they're coming into the this season concentrating on or emphasizing their defense. They've got 7 sophomores started on offense last week, so a relatively young team here for Rocky Lewis. But they do have the legit defense, as we talked about by Bo Cook and Garrett Frazier. Demarius Wise, a big kid in the interior of the line, 265 pounds. He had a good game last week in that opener as well. So Lewis will rely on his defense to keep him in this game. This is the classic kind of defense versus offense matchup.
Yeah, we'll see, though. I mean, even though South can be young on the offensive side, Midway defense didn't play very great last week. I think they needed that record-setting performance from their quarterback in order to make it to the victory line. I think, what did they give up, 60-some points last week?
73, I believe. No, yeah, 73, 80-73.
Oh, my goodness.
You score 73 and you lose. You throw 9 touchdown passes, which the other team's quarterback did, which tied the North Carolina state record, and you didn't set the record, and you still lost the game. Not much more they could have done.
Yeah, that's a basketball score. That's not even, but that's not even a high school basketball score. That's a pretty impressive offensive showing.
Yeah, at 153 points, represented the second highest total points in a regulation game in North Carolina high school history. And this kid Wyatt Holland, as you mentioned, Mike, he got off to an unbelievable start last week, but as you mentioned, had a pretty good 7-game run in the spring with 22 touchdowns and nearly 2,000 yards through the air.
Yeah, watching him warm up, the kid does have a cannon. It's pretty accurate. Look for them to go probably deep early against the South defense.
Yeah, that secondary is going to be really challenged here this evening. The receivers to watch for Midway, number 1, Nate Smith. He's a senior. He had 18 catches, 348 yards in 3 games during the spring season. But last week in that big game, he had 10 catches, 251 yards, and 4 scores. And we are back at South Brunswick High School, Boiling Spring, North Carolina. And the Cougars have just made their way on the field. Again, 1-0 Coach Rocky Lewis. 15-0 win over Richlands last week. Danny Parker with a running touchdown. Jamison Prince, the sophomore quarterback, last week with a running touchdown. Danny Parker, Mike, you haven't had a chance to see this kid. You're in for a treat. I believe he's your kind of player. 5'9", $180 senior. They list him as an athlete, right?
I always appreciate when they're listed as an athlete because you know they're a baller. And like we said last week, sometimes you just want to put your athletes first, your athletes, and just let them go.
He carried the ball 36 times last week, 130 yards, 3.6 yards per carry. As I mentioned, he scored a touchdown. He also caught 4 passes as well. And if he can get in on that defense, if Coach Lewis will let him play, he'll get out there and hit some people there. He's just a baller.
Looks like South won the toss, probably deferred to the second half, going to kick off to Midway.
And they got a good kicker, Mike. We've watched him for years. Noah Harrell, he's a senior, 5'11", 175 pounds. But he's got a very accurate foot and a strong foot. He handles place-kicking duties. He handles punting. And he also does a really good job playing in the secondary of the South Brunswick Cougar defense.
Yeah, let's see if he can pin them deep and start that defensive series in a good position.
Yeah, I don't think you want to give Midway a short field. So, special teams right out of the gate, very important. So it's Harrell with the kickoff. It's grabbed by number 4. That's Cameron Kusar. And he's going to be taken down at about the 31-yard line.
Jay, what kind of defense does South run? Do you know?
They run a defense that is pretty darn stingy and tough. Like I said, they pitched a shutout last week. They're building their hopes around a lot of returning players defensively. And watch some of those big guys up front.
Yeah, I'm looking at the nose tackle right now. Looks like he's going to be trying to get some pressure. He's outsized on he's bigger, a little bit bigger than Grant Barefoot for the Midway Raiders at the center position.
Yeah, there's one kid in that Raider offensive line, number 70, Gabriel Brown. I don't know what his weight is, but he is a tall guy. Handoff to number 42. That would be Dustin Williams, sophomore running back for the Midway Raiders. Looks like they're going to give him a yard, and we've got a player down, and I think it's the kid I was talking about, Gabriel Brown, a little slow getting up.
I would not have bet that they would run the ball the first play, Jay.
I think that was just a little sneaky change of pace there by Coach Corey Barnes, his 4th year at Midway. The quarterback, Wyatt Holland, prolific passer, drops back. Got a man. Good coverage, though.
Great coverage.
And the flag comes out, Mike. I'm not sure. The intended receiver, I believe, was number 1, Nate Smith.
South definitely showing the respect to the Midway quarterback, shading to that side of the single receiver.
Had two coverage guys over there, and it was good coverage. And actually, it wasn't a poorly thrown ball either. Almost came up with a great catch, but they're going to benefit from the pass interference call. So let's see where they mark it.
Sometimes a flag is just as good as a catch, right?
Yeah. So it will be first down. Ball's going to be marked at the Midland 47-yard line.
For the Raiders at the Raider 47-yard line.
Just starting here at South Brunswick, 11 minutes, 7 seconds to go here in the opening quarter. I'm Jay Combs along with Mike Maurer. Handoff again, 42. That would be Dustin Williams, and he is brought down by that big guy you were talking about just a minute ago, Mike, Demarius Wise. When I say big, 285 pounds.
The South definitely trying to get pressure on him Midway, trying to get him with a draw play. I'm sure they will continue to go to that throughout the night.
Well, sure. Obviously, South Brunswick, they read the papers, they watch the film.
Right.
When you throw the ball as much as Midway does, you're kind of out watching for that.
Well, that's why it's tough being beginning of the season because you don't know if that's their game plan or if that's just the necessity of the night for the week 1 shootout last week.
I'll tell you what the necessity was there. A very nice tackle by number 15, Mason Howlett. He is a 5'10", 175-pound senior. He's been around here for a few years. Had 3 total tackles last week in that opening win against Richland. So sets up a 3rd down and 9 from the Midway 48. Mike, this is a passing down. I expect it's going to go up top.
Absolutely. South showing a little bit of a blitz, but I don't see them sending all of those guys.
Pass to the right. Ooh, nice effort by number 2. That would be Trey Gregory, but he is still going to be short of the 1st down.
Made a couple guys miss, but South swarming the ball carrier, keeping it in front of the pylon. 4th down. Looks like they're going to go for it.
Yeah, it looks like Coach Barnes is electing to go for this. It's inside South Brunswick territory.
South late to get set. Midway slowing it down, though.
They need to go 1 yard. They are on the 44-yard line of South Brunswick. Covered, sacked, sacked by number 5, Bishop Brown from his outside linebacker position. And
untouched.
Yeah, ball goes over to the Cougars. A great first possession for South Brunswick, and they're going to take over an excellent position out on the field around the, let's see, make it the Midway 48-yard line. Mike, that was a good shot hit.
Jay, let's go ahead and see that again.
Look at Brown coming down under from the left side, and as you said, Mike, just untouched. And he blows out and blows down number 11, Wyatt Holland. Good effort for the Cougars.
Tackles are pretty easy when you don't get touched, Jay.
That is number 7, the quarterback for South Brunswick. He is a young guy, sophomore, Jamison Prince, 5'11", 150 pounds. Last week in his varsity debut, 7 for 16 through the air for 60 yards, and he rushed for 4 yards. He just needs to kind of, get his feet on the ground and not turn the ball over. That's a good guy to give the ball to there, Michael. That's number 3, Danny Parker.
Just kind of settle it down, take a little chunk yardage play and see what they can get going for 3rd down. A little long, though.
Yeah, Kendrick Tyndall on the stop for Midway sets up a 3rd and 8. Ball's on the 46. Early action here in the first quarter from South Brunswick. Prince looking for a little different set. He's got him up there now. Handoff Parker.
A little RPO. Still not quite enough.
That would be Danny Parker, probably for 4 or 5 yards off the right side. It's going to set up a 4th down, Michael.
About 4 yards short. Again, another tweener distance. Interesting to see what South decides to do.
Well, it looks like right now the offense is going to stay on the field. I see big number 42, Shelton Bocook in the backfield. And, of course, Dan Parker, who's the go-to guy. And we got a whistle, maybe procedure. Oh, no, timeout, Midway.
Before the snap.
Interesting use of the timeout there. They must have been set up in the wrong formation or something because it's a little early. I mean, we're 7 minutes, 41 seconds still to go in the first quarter, and they decide to kind of waste a timeout there, I think.
So, Mike, I need to say this. A few minutes ago, ATMC high school football team made history. I believe that's the first instant replay we've ever done, and I didn't even know we were going to do it. But it sure was fun seeing it the second time.
It was great to see. We're curious if we can continue the trend.
Yeah.
We are worried that we will fry the system and we will lose it like we did last week before halftime.
Dr. Maurer, this is a historic moment here on ATMC TV. Where's Nathan? Is he out there? Okay, I hope he saw that. And Jake the Snake is up top tonight. So, but anyhow, every year these guys work so hard, they make it a little bit better. And certainly having an instant replay is a huge step. 4th down for South. Parker, left side, bounces off one.
Bounce. Keep the legs going. Looks like he's got it.
There you go.
Bounces outside down to the 36-yard line.
Keep the wheels moving. Eventually you get unstuck from the mud, it looks like.
Good call, Mike. Parker is the kid I was telling you about. You love these kind of kids on your team. They list him as an athlete because he can play so many positions.
We'll go ahead and send it to another instant replay here, Jay.
Let's take a look. It's just a handoff to Parker around the left side. And look at it hit here. Boom, boom. Keeps his feet.
3 missed tackles.
Lovely. 1st and 10, South. Prince pass. Off the intended receiver, number 2, Jordan Davis. So that'll second down at 10.
South struggled a little bit to get the pass established this evening. He's got time. He's got guys open.
Yeah, I think, again, just a youngster. I mean, a 10th grader hasn't had a lot of varsity snaps, and he's kind of learning on the fly here. Handoff, number 6.
Antoine Thompson.
Flag on the play.
Looks like we're.
Thompson runs to the right side.
And we got another flag, Mike.
We'll see what the flag is.
Yeah, it looks like a hold. Anytime you get a good sweep play like that, your offensive line, you're hoping you don't get that hold on the outside. That's probably why you got the 6 yards.
And Mike is correct in the penalty. It's going to go against South. So take off that game, walk it back. We'll play second down again, but from a little different place on the field. 6:59 opening quarter. South Brunswick nothing, Midway nothing. Second game of the season for both these two teams. They each won their season opener last week. So we got a 2nd and 17 from the Midway 44. Your quarterback is number 7, Jamison Prince, the sophomore.
We got that athlete, Danny Parker, in the slot. He's looking at him, but he had to go to the other guy in the inside. Abram Jr. not able to keep it.
Yeah, tough one for Abram that time. Wide open. He's slapping himself in the helmet. 10 times you throw him that ball, 9 times he catches it. That's the one he dropped it, but something they might want to come back to. 3rd down.
20.
A long way to go. They got 18 on the board, so.
They prove they're not scared to go for it on 4th, so they don't have to get it all right here.
Parker. Bounces to the outside, keeps his feet, cuts, 30, 25. Danny Parker.
Flags fly. Probably going to be a late hit out of bounds, you think, Jay?
Well, it wasn't anything back upfield, so let's see how the officials are going to rule it. And Midway, as you said, Mike, is going to get called for a personal foul, so we're going to add a bunch of yards to that game.
16-yard run, 15-yard penalty. That's a pretty effective drive right there.
You can win some games with that for sure. Danny Parker, just a plugger. He just comes at you and at you and at you, and hard to bring down. He's not huge, $180, but boy, I tell you, waist down, strong legs,
exactly.
Right? Strong legs.
I've only seen him a little bit here, but he never gives up. He keeps those legs going, and things will happen for you if you can do that.
Yep. We were always taught if you fall forward, you can gain a couple of yards, and
absolutely
every little bit helps. So, 1st down, 10 to go. Ball on the Midway 12. The Cougars in the red zone.
Stacked tight to the weak side. Then they.
Oh, nice move. Play. That's number 6. That is Antoine Thompson, the 5'9" junior running back. He evaded one tackler before he is taken down after a gain of about 6 yards, Mike. Yep. 2nd and 4.
They set up stacked to that weak side of the field, gave him a lot of running room, got shoestring tackled. Otherwise, I think he was going to walk in there.
Impressive drive for South Brunswick. This their opening drive of this game against the visitors from Dunn, North Carolina, the Midway Raiders. Prince, and another whistle, and another timeout. Wow.
Midway, their 2nd.
So the 2nd timeout, Mike, in the 1st quarter.
Yeah.
By the Midway Raiders. Their head coach is Corey Barnes. This is his 4th year.
Well, giving up 70 points, they probably weren't on the field a lot last week, so they probably just, getting that rust off that we talked about for the first game, but only in their second game.
Yeah, I don't know. It's that game had to be worth the price of admission. I read some of the comments from the losing team coach Hobton, and he was saying this was one of those games that should be on ESPN, and I know that the quarterback, Wyatt Holland, was honored last week as the high school player of the week by North Carolina High School Overtime, which does a great job of reporting prep sports. But
yeah, as a fan, you love to watch a game where it's just two teams throwing hands. But as a player, it's not always the funnest game to be part of.
For sure. All right, let's set it up. Second down, 4 yards to go. Ball on the 6-yard line, so South can get a first down and not a touchdown. They would like to get into the end zone. Prince, snap.
Another run to Parker.
Hand off to Parker.
Close.
Very close.
Might have got the first down there, though, to reset the downs. It's going to be close. Looks like.
Very close, though, wouldn't he? Maybe less than a short yard, maybe, Mike. I don't know. Tackle that time by number 2, Trey Gregory for the Raiders.
Great field position, though, because you got 1 yard, 2 downs, and then you can reset the stakes with 2 yards to go.
Absolutely. So there's a look at South Brunswick. You got some big guys there, 68. That's Trey Ingram. Mike, holy moly, a 10th grader, 6'2", 305 pounds. That is some meat.
Absolutely. Let's see if we can make a hole here. Looks like he did.
Parker.
There's Parker right in for the touchdown.
Touchdown, Danny Parker. Plows into the end zone at 5:14 in the first quarter. South Brunswick draws first scores tonight. Goes up 6-0 against Midway. Nice drive by the Cougs.
Great drive. Honestly, what they got the 1 4th down, 3rd and long. We're gonna
take another look at that. Parker, let's watch that line, Mike. Must have got off a good charge.
Absolutely. Right off the left side, right through the B gap.
And Parker is a tough guy. Harrell on for the extra point. Oh! Ball is misplayed and recovered by number 21. That's Nate Parker. He does do the holding on their kick. So point after fails, but South Brunswick jumps out to an early 6-0 lead here at South Brunswick High School. 5:14 to go in the opening quarter.
The nice thing is South's defense had a lot of time to rest there, Jay. I don't know how many or if any two-way starters they have or two-way players, but when you can kind of get your breath back and get ready to go, that's what you want as a defender.
And, weather-wise tonight, Mike, it's still kind of hazy, hot, and humid, but nothing like we experienced in Leland last week.
Absolutely. Now, we thought we were going to get the game in, and then right at halftime, lightning and torrential downpours kind of washed us out. Tonight, I think it's going to be sticky, but I think we're going to get it through.
Yeah, I think so, too. And that game last week that we were carrying on ATMC was Whiteville and North Brunswick. Whiteville eventually won that game on Saturday. I believe the final was 51-13, so Whiteville off to a good start. We were supposed to be doing the West Brunswick game this week. Unfortunately, West is in the COVID protocol, so we were lucky enough to come over to South and pick up this contest.
That's a tough break, kicking the ball out of bounds. It's going to give Midway that short field position we were talking about.
Yeah, and I don't want to give these kids those extra kinds of chances. So I would guess, Mike, that the Raiders will take the ball out on the 35.
So it looks as if they're going to take the ball at the 35.
I believe that is correct, Jay.
10 for the Midway Raiders.
Now, the opposite side of South's defense getting some rest is Midway's offense had time to sit, think about how their opening drive went, where they stalled, where they did well, and they'll probably try to go back to the wheelhouse a little bit.
Well, the wheelhouse would be, of course, Wyatt Holland, the quarterback, and Nate Smith, one of his favorite receivers. Casey Colbrith, 6-foot junior, number 8, also a very talented wideout as well.
Yeah, looking Colbrith here on the weak side of the field. It looks like he's got the size matchup on the south defender. Run play right up the middle.
Boom. That is Trey Gregory, and that is a solid gain up the middle for about 6 yards. 2nd and 4 before he's brought down by number 10, Noah Harrell. Mike, that one opened wide open, didn't it, up the middle?
Absolutely, but that's the problem when you're playing with a quarterback who can sling it. You got to get pressure. You got to run up the field, and it's going to create gaps, particularly when you're running 3 down linemen and you got the outside rushers.
Well, luckily for South, that guy in the middle, that nose guard tackle, Demarius Wise, is 285. So he's really a couple of players out there position-wise. Theodore Wood, a 5'9" senior on the interior of that defensive line. Another tough kid. Had a good game last week with 11 total tackles and a tackle for loss. So South showing the ability to put some pressure on the quarterback, and that would help if they could do that here this evening against a kid that can throw it around like Wyatt Holland.
Looks like they had to reset the game clock there, Jay. I think they're ready to go now, though.
They're calling it 2nd and 3. There's a pass to the left side, and it is complete to number 1, but great coverage by South.
It's like Nate Smith on the receiving end of that midway throw.
Hey, guess who made the tackle, Mike? He snuck in there. Number 3, Danny Parker. I told you.
Athlete.
He's an athlete. You're right, man.
I'm a fan of high school kids playing both ways, Jay. It just really kind of shows the nature of the sport.
Well, I hear you, and I kind of lean that way too. These schools that are lucky enough to have enough good players to play platoon, that's great, but most are not. That is Wyatt Holland with a keeper after a –
kind of looked like a little confusion in the backfield. They had the counter play sweep coming to the right, and he kind of went to the left.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's how that play was designed, but I'm pretty sure Coach Barnes liked the outcome. So
absolutely.
It is a first down. I believe the first down that Midway's picked up here this evening, the other first down came by virtue of the pass interference call. So first down, 10 yards to go. The ball on the Midway 46. 4 minutes on a running clock here in the opening stanza at South Brunswick with the Cougars up 6-0. Holland rolls right. He's looking downfield. Nobody to throw to. Great pursuit and coverage.
That's what we call a coverage sack, Jay. Everybody downfield had a South Brunswick defender on him. Nowhere to go for Wyatt Holland.
Excellent observation, Michael. Theodore Wood, number 53 and 42. Bo Cook in on the stop that time, but Mike's absolutely right. I think that the credit for all that goes on the secondary. Let's look at it again. You're going to see the quarterback running for his life, and he is taken down there by Theodore Wood.
Shout out Theodore Wood, playing a great outside position, following the quarterback, not giving up on the play and finishing it off.
2nd and 13 for Midway. Looking. Nobody there. Pulls it down.
Theodore Wood again tracking across the center of the field from that left rush position. Good eyes on that kid.
Yeah, Mike, South early on doing an excellent job of obviously, defending in the secondary, but those guys up front keeping their eyes open for where that ball and where that quarterback is.
Looks like we're going to have a 3rd and 9.
Yeah, ball out on the 47. Let's see what senior quarterback Wyatt Holland elects to do.
Now they're throwing down, so don't be shocked if they do the draw play they did earlier, but looks like they are going to throw it. And he does have a wide open guy.
Holland underthrows his receiver, as Mike said, was open. That would be number 1, Nate Smith. So South Brunswick holds again. This is a team that scored 80 points last week in regulation. I think at halftime they had 39 points, right? And South, with 2:15 to go here in the first quarter, has kept Midway off the board. In fact, they have a punting situation, 4th and 9 ball on their 47. Their punter looks like Trip Westbrook, who is a sophomore. Back to return is, well, you know who. The athlete.
Why not? We got delay of game. Trying to give him a little more space, maybe? I mean, that's more of a higher level decision play.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know.
I was watching warm-ups. I mean, Midway's punter can bomb it a little bit. You know, you're looking at 35 net yard kind of punts in the warm-ups, but I'm not quite sure that's what they wanted.
Yeah, let me check that. I said Trip Westbrook. Actually, it's Nate Smith who's going to handle the punting.
Got under that one. A little short.
And it goes dead at the Cougars.
So the ball goes, stops at about the 4-yard line. So with 2 minutes, 2 seconds to go here in the opening quarter, we'll get our second look at the South Brunswick offense. They lead 6-0. Danny Parker, 6-yard run. The point after failed, and the Cougs have a 6-0 lead. So sophomore quarterback Jamison Prince.
Curious to see if they were going to stick with the run that it got them to the touchdown last drive, but looks like they're going wide open set, 5 wides.
That is what they say, an empty backfield.
Screenplay to the athlete. Throws it into the ground, unfortunately.
So incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 10. Still at the South Brunswick 39-yard line.
I was always a fan of a screenplay because as an offensive lineman, you only have to block for not even a second, and then you get to run downfield, touchdown alley, and try to pancake somebody.
Spoken as a former offensive lineman. Parker, right
athlete.
side, banging his way downfield.
We do have a flag on the far side of the field, Jay. I'm curious what that's going to be. But Danny Parker, yeah, made one guy miss, ran 2 more, fell forward. Curious what this flag will be.
I think it's a sideline warning perhaps against Midway. So the play will stand, and it is a first down. So that was about a 12, 13-yard run by Parker. Ball now out on the 48-yard line. 1st and 10, South Brunswick. 6-0 lead here in the first quarter.
Sideline warning. That's on the get-back coach, Jay. Not doing his job.
Hey, that's a long bus ride from Dunn. They're maybe still trying to figure things out. Prince over the middle, got a seamer.
Oh my goodness!
Oh
my goodness! One-handed, almost brought it in.
Holy moly! That would have made our instant replay. I know it. Jordan Davis, a tremendous effort and a great throw by the 10th grader Jamison Prince. Michael, that just looked like it was there, and then it wasn't.
It took him a little time to heat up, but that one was right on the money. Hit him in stride. Unfortunately, couldn't finish it off.
2nd and 10. Prince keeps, fakes to Parker. Some escapability by the young 10th grader.
Looked like a late decision by the quarterback to keep that ball. Almost regretted it when he had 2 Midway defenders barreling down on him, but made them both miss. And a great gain, Jay.
You talk about, big plays that give you confidence. Look at this one, Mike. Evades a couple of tacklers, and then north-south running by Prince. There's Parker again, back to live action. Yeah, give us the first down signal, Danny.
You can tell we're still getting the kinks out of the replay, Jay. We're looking like CBS, missing a couple of those starting plays.
I wish we looked like CBS. That would be good. And looky here. Look what the 10th grader does. He draws Midway offside, 63. Nashon Sanchez jumps. So Good effort by number 7, Jamison Prince. You think his confidence isn't at a all-time level right now?
All I got to say is let's go South. Just drive it.
So that's a 5-yard gain for South Brunswick. Make it 1st and 5. Ball on the 26. We have 1 minute and 5 seconds to go. 1 minute, 4 seconds to go here in the opening quarter. Parker, left side, hole,
Ooh.
hit, down, and a flag.
Looks like we're going to have a hold here, Jay.
There'll be a flag back at the 24-yard line.
Probably going to go against the Cougs, which is going to nullify another excellent run by Danny Parker.
Against the Cougars, so that will nullify the yardage gained by Parker.
Yeah, holding is a tough penalty. 10 yards. Not a loss of down, replay down, but 10 yards is, I don't know, I feel like it unwarrantedly punishes the offensive line.
Again, spoken as a former offensive lineman, you know, Dr. Maurer is just giving us all of it tonight, right? His experiences as an Ohio high school offensive lineman. Dude, that's some big-time football.
So that'll be 1st and 12 for the
Rumor has it.
He's too modest. 1st and 12 for South. The ball is now on the 33. And we've got about 38 seconds to go here. Plenty of time for Prince. Motion. Thought he was going to throw. That he is Antoine Thompson, and he got hit pretty good. And I think Coach Rocky Lewis probably pretty happy to just have the ball after that.
Yeah, South looking like they were trying to get a little cute there. Didn't pay off.
Thought he was going to throw, maybe?
I don't know. It was a bobble off the pitch, technically, and from there it just kind of dissolved.
Probably the last play here of the first quarter. Prince looking, wide open is Parker. Touchdown, South Brunswick. Holy cow, Mike Maurer, that was wide open. And our young 10th grader, Jamison Prince, throws a strike to our athlete, Danny Parker.
Little pitch and catch right over the middle, right down the line. Let's go ahead and look at it again here. He sees him from the get-go. He knew he was open and just hits him 10 yards away from the defender.
Wow. Hey, listen, credit that O-line for South, too, because Prince had all day to throw that time. 36-yard touchdown strike by South Brunswick quarterback Jamison Prince to Danny Parker. That'll make it 12-0 South Brunswick, pending the point after. And it looks like the Cougs are going to go for 2.
Got to try to make up for that botched snap earlier in the game. Running it to the athlete. No, keeping his legs going.
Well, he's a bouncer, isn't he? Parker, not. And as rubbery and tough as he can be, not enough to get past the defensive line of Midway. So point after fails, but what doesn't fail is the score. It is South Brunswick 12 and Midway nothing, with 8 seconds to go here in the opening quarter at South Brunswick. Mike, pretty good effort by the Cougs. They are 2 for 2 offensively.
Absolutely. They're leaning on Danny Parker, their athlete, senior, having a game so far in just this first quarter, Jay.
Yeah, Parker, you know, he 130 yards last week on the ground, 36 carries. So
2 touchdowns tonight.
Yeah, and he's got a couple of scores here this evening. So one through the air, one on the ground. So Danny Parker, one of the premier all-around football players in Brunswick County and in New Hanover County this season in the Mid-East Conference. So 8 ticks to go. South will kick it off. That means we will see number 10, Noah Harrell, tee the ball up at the South Brunswick 40. Back to receive for Midway, number 2, Trey Gregory, and I believe number 4, Cameron Kusar, pair of juniors.
Kept it inbounds this time.
Merrill got it pretty good that time. That's going to be Kusar. Up the middle.
Who returns it to the 24.
Good special teams coverage, Mike, by South Brunswick.
0.7 seconds left on the clock.
First and 10 for Midway.
Wow. Should have
that's
let him go one more yard.
It's a
right?
quick trigger on the clock, man. Quick trigger.
That was Abram in on the stop for South Brunswick special teams. So point. 7 seconds to go here. Midway's got the ball out at their 24-yard line. The prolific Wyatt Holland at quarterback for the Raiders. But South been pretty tough here this evening.
We got Danny Parker, our athlete, playing safety.
Yeah, he play everything. Pass outside to number 2. That's a good hit.
Number 5, Bishop Brown shed his blocker like no other, threw him to the ground and made the tackle on the outside.
Trey Gregory with the reception, but Bishop Brown with the good tackle. That's going to do it for the first quarter. The score, South Brunswick 12, Midway 0. You are watching the ATMC TV High School Game of the Week. We'll be right back. And we're back at South Brunswick with the Cougars, a surprising 12-0 lead over the Raiders of Midway here in the second quarter.
South's defense really stepped up to what they expected to be a tough fight from the Midway quarterback. Midway, so far, no answers for the South defense.
South defense, which pitched a shutout last week in that opening week victory over Richlands, playing well here again tonight. It's a run off the left side that time. That's going to pick up the first down for Midway. That was Dustin Williams, a sophomore running back for Midway, that picked up the first down. So first and 10, ball on the Midway 36, second quarter action.
Great
Pressure wins.
And the Cougar defense smothers the quarterback back at about the
Another great effort by South Brunswick, particularly those front seven, and that was the big guy.
Took on 2 Midway offensive linemen, drove them back into the quarterback. Defense is pretty easy if you got a guy in the center that can do that.
Yeah, when you got a guy with the size and the strength of Wise, and Mike, he's just a junior. He's still growing at 285, right? So big, strong kid and having his way inside here this evening.
Yeah, big is something, but if you can get the leverage on top of that and drive those guys back, you're going to have a good night.
Pass downfield. Oh, great!
Interception. Oh, no.
That's Brown.
In and out of his hands.
But was he doing a splendid job of man coverage, Mike?
You're never going to be upset by a batted ball.
No, sir. That was a well-thrown ball by Wyatt Holland, one of his few good passes here this evening, but that's just good defense by the senior 5'10", 150-pound
3rd and 13 for the Raiders.
Bishop Brown.
I think the key so far is South's been able to get pressure with only 3 or 4 rushers, so you're able to drop back everybody else and cover the defense. We've already seen one coverage sack. That was close to another one.
What a great scheme tonight for the defensive unit of South. 3rd 13, and we got a whistle, and that may be too much time, a delay a game against Midway, and a tough down and distance situation for the Raiders just got worse.
Yeah, Midway definitely kind of on their heels at this point. 3rd and, about 20. South was showing a front and had no idea who was rushing. Definitely was going to be sending more than their 3 or 4, though. And it looks like the quarterback just took too long to read it.
This is a real good effort early on. Still a lot of football here to be played, but so far South Brunswick really taking charge defensively. Look over the middle. Oh, ball off the hands of the intended receiver, Trey Gregory. I think that pass was a wee bit behind him. He tried to pull it in, but not able.
Good coverage by South's defense, though. I mean, even if he catches it, Jay, I don't think he gets enough yards for the first down.
I think you're absolutely right, Mike. And, again, the defensive unit for South Brunswick has played well here this evening. They're going to force another change of possession, and back is our guy, the athlete, number 3, Danny Parker, to receive. They're coming.
Low snap, had to get it off quick. He got a good roll on it.
And it takes a Raiders bounce inside the Cougar 40.
Yeah, we call that one a Raider roll for Midway that time. So still excellent field position for South Brunswick for their first possession here in the second quarter. Hanging on to a 12-0 lead. 10 minutes, 20 seconds to go.
Absolutely. This is the field position they've been in 2 drives. Started right around here. Both ended in touchdowns by Danny Parker. Kind of expect more of the same. I mean, we haven't seen any reason why we wouldn't.
Field position such an important and integral part of success or failure in this game. And South Brunswick has it in good shape right now at their 39-yard line. That's
nice
a handle.
Run.
Big gap. That's Brown. He's down. Ball's loose, but I think it's after he hit the ground.
Jay, I think you could have got about 10 yards on that hole.
Yeah, that's how big that hole was, Mike. So let's see. That ball is going to be marked at the 41. So that's 9 and what? 11, 12, 21-yard run by Bishop. Check it. They said that's Antoine Thompson. I can't tell my 5s and 6s.
Not cooperating as much as it should be.
We're going to go ahead and see that run off the right side again here, Jay.
And let me make sure we correct it that it is Thompson. Boy, that's just a nice hard run and a big hole, Mike, as you pointed out.
Again, running's easy when all you got is green space to worry about.
Football is blocking and tackling, and generally those teams that do it the best are the ones that are the most successful. And we're having some clock difficulties here.
Not ATMC, though.
No.
So that's a nice surprise, right?
Hey, look, you know what? We can run it on instant replay just to make sure they got the clock right. You know, we can do that. Let that tech work for you, and let this guy work for you, too.
Great counter play.
Danny Parker.
Right up the middle. Beautiful counter play. Excellent blocking.
And look, the Cougs are right out over that ball, Mike. That's the last thing Midway wants to see right now.
Like I said, Midway doesn't really have any answers. High snap, though.
There's an answer.
Excellent use of it.
There's an answer.
Just went with a size mismatch. Abram Jr., probably about 4 or 5 inches taller than that linebacker he caught it over.
Prince delivers a strike. Abrams makes the nice catch. First down, South Brunswick, and I think they're going to get 5 more.
I'm going to go ahead and look at that. Look at him make use of not a great situation here, Jay.
Nice athleticism, though, right, by the young sophomore. Make a little bit of something out of nothing that time, so excellent effort by Prince and a nice catch by Brown, and a 1st and 5 now.
Look who got the ball again.
Yeah, he's going to get it a lot.
Danny Parker, the workhorse inside the 15.
Yeah, maybe heard the PA announcer over the speakers calls him the workhorse, and that's an appropriate name for young Mr. Danny Parker. We call him the athlete, and that kid is just I call him one heck of a football player. Another first down for South. Ball's out on the 14-yard line of Midway, so 1st and 10, 8:50 to go. Second quarter here at South Brunswick High School. Cougars up 12-0. Hand off Parker. Again. Waving.
Again, look at him move those legs. Moving those legs for a touchdown. Shed about 4 tackles. Didn't quit on it. Excellent game for Danny Parker tonight. I wonder if we can get a replay of that one, Jay.
3rd score of the night for Parker, and this is a splendid effort by the senior. Let's watch it, Mike.
1, cuts it back, 2, 3, 4.
That is a determined young man, Danny Parker, senior. 3rd touchdown of the game.
Another
extra points have been an adventure.
Missed snap by South. 18-0 South Brunswick Cougars against the Midway Raiders. Not a lot of answers by the Midway Raiders for South's running game and Danny Parker.
Yeah, Danny Parker has had a kind of a season here in the opening quarter and a few minutes of the second with 3 touchdowns. But I think this has been a very dominating effort, both offensively and defensively, by South Brunswick.
Absolutely. Great job by South on that drive, changing the pace, going quick, taking their time, getting the penalty from the Midway Raiders. South firing on all cylinders.
They really are. Rocky Lewis, I believe this is his 4th season here at South Brunswick, and it just seems like every year the Cougs get a little bit better, and certainly this year, make your own judgment. But after one game and, a quarter and a couple of minutes of another, I'd say South Brunswick is on their way to what could be a very successful year.
Absolutely, and setting the tone for years to come. Like you talked about, South Brunswick young on the offensive side. I mean, Danny Parker is the game changer. He is a senior. They'll miss him later, but, if you can get established and have a great season, that only begets better seasons usually later down the line.
No question about it. Last week they started 7 sophomores offensively.
So that's 3 years for this year and 2 more. That's great news for South.
Yeah, that continuity, and your quarterback's a 10th grader, and boy, you got a bright future. But plenty of football here left to go tonight as Noah Harrell tees it up. Kick's going to be received by number 2, Trey Gregory. And Gregory advances the ball out to about the 25-yard line before he is taken down by Thompson. I believe Mason Hallett in on the stop on special teams play for South Brunswick.
Great coverage by South there. Good lane discipline on the kickoff team. And when you get 3 hats to the ball, 2-3 hats to the ball, man, not going to get a lot of misses there.
So 1st and 10 for the Raiders of Midway. It's on their 26. Quarterback Wyatt Holland, who is a prolific thrower, has not been able to get on track here this evening, and you just got to credit an outstanding South Brunswick defense.
Yeah, South can't get too complacent because you're going to see this kind of thing again, but look at that.
Interception. Number 15, Mason Hallett. Mike, I'll tell you what, I don't care who's out there throwing the ball tonight. Nobody's open.
Absolutely. South covering everybody on every play. Like I said, they can't get complacent. They got to keep their foot on the gas because, 18 points, that's not that much. Let's go ahead and look at that again.
And Mike, one of your observations early on is you see Hallett step in front of the intended receiver and run the ball downfield. It's going to be marked at the Midway 32. But the point that South has been able to get pressure on the quarterback, but only rushing 3 and 4 guys. They got a lot of guys back in coverage.
Absolutely. I think that's a testament to the size and athleticism of those down linemen for South.
Prince looking. Oh! Ball was there.
Looking for a flag. Unfortunately, I think that was just great defense by the Midway defensive back.
I agree with you that the intended receiver was Michael Shrewberry, a 5'10", 175-pound junior. He caught a pass for 17 yards last week in that victory over Richland. So sets it up 2nd and 10, 8:14 to go. South Brunswick 18-0 lead. Handoff.
Looks like Antoine Thompson again, keeping his feet going, taking some notes from Danny Parker.
Yeah, you know what? If you're going to be follow somebody as a model running back, you can do a lot worse than Danny Parker. And it looks like to me Antoine Thompson, who's a junior, doing a pretty good job of a Danny Parker imitation, keeping those legs moving. 3rd down and 2 from the 24. Hand off, good penetration that time by Midway.
Looks like tackle by Dustin Williams on the play for Midway.
And there's a flag as well, Mike, so we'll let the officials sort it out. But an excellent play that time by Williams. One of the few times this evening that Midway has been able to apply any pressure to get into the backfield. And this call is going to go against South Brunswick, and it appears
it's like holding on the play, Jay. Yeah, when you get that pressure, you put the offensive line on their heels. They got to do something to protect their quarterback. Sometimes you get caught.
Yeah, you're reaching out there and grabbing for anything you can to slow them down, and they got caught that time. So
interesting. Yeah, I was going to say South letting Danny Parker get a rest, but he's back in on the 3rd and long.
Yeah, well, he might be your 3rd and everything guy, right? So he's going to be in the slot this time.
I was going to say, curious, not a lot of coverage deep for Midway.
Let's see what Prince is going to do. He's looking. Again, going to Shrewsbury, but can't connect. So this is going to set up 4th down, 12 to go. Ball on the 35-yard line of Midway. So I'm presuming that South Brunswick will keep the offense on the field.
Looks like they're setting up for it, but, I'd be curious, Pooch kicking
it?
Yeah.
Hey, can Parker pooch? He might be able to.
Who knows?
He can do everything else, right?
Let's see. Yeah, Prince talking to his receivers. He's not real set up real deep, so we'll see what kind of leg he might have if he decides to go for it.
Yeah, maybe Prince going to pooch. He's looking bad now. The South Brunswick staff going to call a timeout and think a little bit about it. We're going to take a look at Rocky Lewis, who is the head guy here at South Brunswick and has done just a great job of rejuvenating this football program. I'll tell you, they do things right here at South Brunswick. I was coming up the steps in the stands. I looked out over the back, and there's not a shred of grass in that outfield on this baseball diamond, which means now they're getting, a nice new grassy outfield. But Scott Wainwright, I believe, is the new athletic director. Scott, the longtime varsity basketball coach, Mike, and assistant principal's way. Let me tell you, these, that advanced education paying off for Wainwright, right?
Yeah, Jay, these facilities absolutely top notch for Brunswick County. Excited to see what they can do with that ball field over there.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty, and it's pretty nice early effort by South Brunswick here tonight. So 4th down, 13.
Little pooch
and
here.
It's going to be the poocher.
Not terrible.
Not bad at all. Get the bounce. Get the bounce. Okay.
Hey, it's inside the 20. It's respectable.
Like it. Prince with the pooch punt.
I doubt they practice that a lot, so, good success.
Now, explain to me, Dr. Mike, Do you guys do that in rugby?
Yeah, occasionally you will do a box kick in rugby. You're not usually going to do it from inside the 50 on your opponent's side of the field. Normally you're going to do what we call kick for touch if there's a penalty, so you can kind of get down inside, try to steal the ball back. But, yeah, that's something in rugby, that's for sure.
You guys, that rugby game, I don't know.
It's great. I recommend it for anybody.
Not me.
There's a position for all sizes.
I'll come watch you. Not for all ages. I can tell.
No, I didn't say that, Jay. I didn't say that. But you know what? There's a social thing. You can come out and have some food. And
they do have a nice time. Lots of beverages there. I've seen. Pass over the middle. Wow. Michael, wow is right.
We just missed a potential head-on collision there, Jay.
Yikes, and I'm glad they did. That was Trey Gregory on the receiving end of that pass from Wyatt Holland. I think that's only his second or third completion of the night, and luckily for Gregory, he lives for another play because that was close to a big-time hit. We're seeing it right now. Who is that? Is that Brown?
I think it's our boy.
And then is that number
Danny
3, Parker, of course.
Hey, he kept his head up, though, Jay.
Yeah,
that's what you got to do. Heads up football. Just kind of missed this guy.
Of course. Second and short. And that's Williams off the right side. And he's going to pick up a first down, one of the few first downs of the game of the half here for Midway. But we got a flag down. Looks like
it's going to be on South and moving the sticks some more.
Yep. So first and 10 for the Raiders, 6:25 second quarter action here at South Brunswick. Cougars 18, the Raiders nothing. Our ATMC TV high school football game of the week. Handoff inside, but no going, Mike.
Yeah, Midway trying to get it established on the run to set the pass back up because South's pretty much stuffed them on the pass so far this half.
I think that was Williams again. And he loses a yard, so that's going to make it second down and 11, ball on the Midway 27. Quarterback Wyatt Holland.
And I see no reason to change up your defense if you're South. You're stopping the run. You're doing a pretty good job, and you got the pass covered still.
Watching Bo Kook out there directing where guys need to be. What a blessing having a senior like pressure.
Everybody.
Number 30. Well, Bo Kook is on it, and it looked like 38. Maybe that's Garrett Frazier. You talked about him in the pregame, Mike.
Yeah, Bishop Brown also in on that.
Great penetration pressure by South Brunswick. Sets up a third down and a long way for the visitors from Dunn, North Carolina.
Yeah, looking about 18 to go, ball on the 20. This is not a place where you want to take another one of those sacks, that's for sure.
Absolutely. Got time. Overthrows the intended receiver.
Yeah, number 8 from Midway, Casey Colbreth, not able to get much separation against the South defender there.
Yeah, and again, I think the key, as you've said several times here, Mike, is the pressure of the front 3 or 4 and the back deep coverage by this South Brunswick secondary in particular, and active and agile linebackers as well. This quarterback Wyatt Holland just really hasn't had anybody to throw to. So punting situation for the Raiders.
Yeah, critical punt here. Trying to get any kind of field position for Midway. At least the ball does go past the 50, but
Midway bounce inside the Cougar 50 to the 48-yard line.
So the ball's going to go over to South Brunswick. They're going to take over at about their 8-yard line. Danny Parker wanted to pick that up terribly, but he's smart enough to know that wasn't the one to try to grab.
Yeah, sometimes you got to know when not to try to be the athlete.
What was that song? You got to know when to hold them and know when to fold them, or something like that. I don't know.
Kenny Rogers.
Yeah, we'll have to ask the music savant, Aaron Varnum.
Unfortunately, he's not very good with country music.
Yeah, he ain't very good. I don't know. I'll tell you what, that kid could tackle in high school. And can he tackle out on that rugby field?
Yeah, he's
Is it okay to call it tackle?
Yeah, absolutely. No,
Okay.
it is a tackle. I have seen Aaron, hold his ground, do pretty good.
He scored a something, whatever you call it.
It's called a try, Jay.
Yeah, try. He tried hard. And for that, he got a try.
I believe it was about a 60-meter run as well.
He didn't run that. There's no way he ran 75 yards.
Well, he did, Jay, because there was a fight on the other side of the field, and the referee, because there's only one, didn't see him.
4:22, second quarter. South Brunswick 18, Midway 0. And quarterback Jamison Prince, the sophomore for South Brunswick, is ready to take the snap.
Set.
Time.
Screen to Danny Parker.
Look at him. Well, that time, pretty good defense that time, Mike, by Midway.
Well, I don't know if it was good defense or poor penetration on the play, Jay.
Sometimes, even when you do it wrong, it turns out right? So that may have been one of them. 2nd and 11 for South.
I love that play call, though. And they've been running it really well, and eventually you do got to take that shot.
You get the ball to Parker. He can make his daylight. Handoff, 6, Thompson. Antoine Thompson, the 5'9 junior running back. Nice gouge that time down to the 45. So 8-yard pickup.
Yeah, 3rd and reasonable here. Thompson been their kind of their speed back today. Danny Parker's been going up the middle most of the time, and Thompson's been taking it to the outside.
Tell you what, he has had a very, very fine game here this evening. The 5'9 junior running back for South Brunswick High School. 3:13, second quarter, handoff Parker.
What do we say? Danny Parker right up the middle.
Shifty. What a player.
If I needed 3 yards, guess what I'm probably going to do, Jay?
I'm calling number 3 all night long.
Absolutely.
Danny Parker picks up the first down. So South Brunswick on the move. Ball on the 39-yard line of Midway.
Absolute critical drive here for South. If they can eat most of this clock, they do get the ball back at halftime. After halftime.
Look at Parker,
Oh,
Mike.
my goodness. Skipped through the hole, broke a tackle, hit another guy, broke that tackle, and made 8 yards.
Yeah, I like your. I don't know, is it an adjective or whatever? Skipping. That was a good way because it just looked like he was kind of skipping his way along there, skipping his way along to 7 yards is Danny Parker.
Yeah, just let that clock run down, boys.
Parker again. Left side, bounces. Jeez.
I'd love to have his energy again. This kid's got a motor, Jay, that's just not stopping.
Yeah, and motor, it's tough to measure motors, right? Kids' hearts and desire and everything, but you don't, and Parker's sitting this one down. Maybe a cramp, Mike. You're the physical therapist.
I try not to speculate on injuries, but yeah, that just looks like a failure on the footwear.
Yeah, well, maybe it's as simple as that. Yeah, has he got his shoe in his hand there? Can't tell. Maybe. Yeah, he does. But anyway, the Cougs are going to take a timeout.
It is his shoe.
Mike, a little shoe repair. Now, look, let's time him. Let's see. All right, he puts the shoe on. He bounces left. He ties it right. He pushes it. Come on, Danny. Keep up. Fall forward. Here's the tie, Michael. Here's the tie. Look at that.
Excellent.
World record shoe replacement, Danny Parker. What can't this boy do? Replay?
Yeah, can we get a replay of that? Love to see his technique. I wonder if he looped up or behind or in front.
Coach John Wooten, legendary UCLA basketball coach, used to teach his kids how to tie their shoes.
He went with the left-handed loop.
Did you see that?
Is he left-handed? Because if he's not, that's impressive.
You get extra points for that. On the left-hand loop system, you get extra points. The Olympic shoe tie by Danny Parker, 1st and 10, 27-yard line.
High snap, right over the middle.
Oh, just off the hands.
Abram, that's the second one that's kind of bounced off Abram's hands, unfortunately.
He's caught one. He's dropped a couple, but every time he seems to be able to find his way open over the middle in that Midway secondary. So second down 10, 1:58 to go here in the second quarter.
Oh,
and might
boys.
be a little more than 2nd and 10.
Curious, the whole offensive line didn't move, and everybody else did.
Well, isn't that the way it always is? The skill guys will kill you every time. Mike, you know that as an old offensive lineman.
Sometimes that is the case. Sometimes the center just forgets the snap count.
That's right.
But the crowd's not that loud. We are at home, so I'm curious as to find out, if ever, what happened there.
Well, what did happen was a procedural call against South, one of their few penalties of the night. So it's going to set up a 2nd and 15.
It's all right. Danny Parker's probably going to take it for like 12 yards here, Jay.
Let's see what he does. And he's got the ball. Right side, beats
Jay,
one.
look at just that pancake.
Bounces
Oh, my
two.
goodness.
Who is it?
58.
Who is it?
Devin Galladay
Who
just
is it?
smoked that dude. I love a good pancake.
That is how you do it. And, yeah, nothing like those pancakes. A little bit of syrup on that one. 3rd and 10. Prince looking right side's got a receiver.
Got a little laundry on that play. Going back to the pancake, Jay, it's probably past the statute of limitations, but we used to get paid for pancakes when I was in high school. So you got a $5 Bob Evans gift card for every pancake you got in a game.
How did you eat that year?
I ate really well. Okay. I had 6 pancakes one game. I took my
6.
I took my girlfriend at the time, my now wife, out to breakfast one morning.
Come on.
It was a great time.
So we got another penalty. And let's see how they're going to walk this one off, Mike. Looks like it is going against Midway. That we know. And it's a big one.
Minute 26 left in the half again. South gets the ball after halftime. So critical defensive possession here for Midway if they can get a stop.
So it looks like it is 3rd down and inches perhaps for a 1st down. Ball is marked.
They're giving it to him,
They're
yeah.
now going to give it to him.
They're not even going to pull it out to measure it.
Okay, the ball at the 17-yard line of Midway. 1st and 10 for the Cougars. 1:26 to go here in the second quarter. Wait a minute, we moving it more? Maybe they didn't mark off enough.
Did they say what the penalty was?
Never saw the penalty.
Interesting. And I believe South still has 2 timeouts, correct?
I believe you're right, Mike.
1st and 10 at the 12 again. They can get the 1st down without getting the touchdown. They should be able to, if they don't score, at least eat up all the clock.
Excellent observation, Michael. And 1:26 to go. Not a lot of time to eat up, but plenty enough time for South to get into that end zone. Okay, sophomore quarterback Jamison Prince keeps it, fakes to Parker, right side, and he is nailed just inside the 10-yard line.
Good little run, faked it to Danny, made the defense hold still for a second, still got a little chunk play out of it.
Sure. As many times as Parker has carried the ball here this evening.
2nd and 6.
Using him in that fashion, not a bad idea. And this time he kicks it. Left.
Can he do it again?
Bumping, rolling, falling forward. Going to be close to a 1st down, Mike, which will stop the clock.
I believe that will be a 1st down. He looks like he's within the 1-yard line there, Jay. Absolute stunning half by Danny Parker.
And I got to tell you, a stunning half by South Brunswick as well. 1st and goal, 1-yard line. Handoff. Not that time.
Yeah, that's the first time we've seen Danny lose a couple yards, but still plenty of time on the clock for South to try to knock it in here.
Look, that might have been number 54, Randy McMillan, from his defensive linebacker position for Midway. Clock is moving, 35 seconds. Parker.
There. Did he get it?
If he didn't, they probably need to call a timeout, and they do.
I was waiting for the Matt Leinart on Reggie Bush push in there.
Yeah.
But Jamison Prince kind of ran right past him.
Well, Prince is $150, Parker's 180, and that's a big 180. I guess Jamison figured he didn't need any help, and he didn't get it, but the Cougs do. 3rd and goal with 24.3 seconds to play here in the second quarter. South Brunswick with an 18-0 lead. 3 Danny Parker touchdowns, 2 in the first quarter. One of those a run, one of those a pass. And another run in the second quarter by Parker, resulting in the 18-0 lead for South Brunswick.
Yeah, South kind of a dominating performance on both sides of the ball. Let's see if I'm South, I'm going big on big, body on body. You got one more timeout. You got to try to crash this in there, really kind of send Midway into the halftime defeated mentally.
This could really be, kind of a tough blow to the nose if South can score.
Look at that, heavy all day, big gap, touchdown.
Touchdown, South Brunswick.
Touchdown, Cougars.
Was it Parker?
I think it was.
I believe it was. Danny Parker plunges in from the 1, his 4th touchdown in the first half.
Jay, we talked about Wyatt Holland's career and state record night last week. Danny Parker setting what's got to be close to his career record tonight already.
Tell you what, he is having one whale of a game. Going for 2. Prince got it.
Guess who?
Guess who? Oh, wait a minute. Is he in?
Now he
he's
is.
in.
Hey, you know what Danny Parker doesn't do? He doesn't give up, Jay.
No, he doesn't.
He thought he was in. He didn't get the call. He fought for it, fought 2 Midway defenders to break the plane for the 2-point conversion and a 26-0 lead for South.
Wow. Tell you what, a lot of folks will be checking their halftime scores tonight, and I don't think there'd be a whole lot of them that would have bet on a 26-0 halftime lead for South Brunswick.
Absolutely. This is a double-take score if I've ever heard of one. Midway is going to be going into halftime really just going to be trying to figure out what to do offensively and defensively.
Yeah, last week they didn't have any problem offensively as they put 80 points on the board, but they did have issues defensively, and they continue to have issues here tonight. 26 points for South, and the Cougars, if they can get out of here this last 20.1 seconds without giving up a score, will run their consecutive scoreless streak to 6 quarters here for the 2021 football season.
Yeah, South's offense, Jamison Prince at quarterback, sophomore, doing just enough in the passing game to keep Midway honest, and Danny Parker just having a game today.
Yeah. So Mr. Noah Harrell is going to tee it up at the 40. Kind of punches it, and Midway takes the knee. That is number 4, Cameron Kusar. So the Raiders will take over at their 33 with 17.9 seconds to go.
Interesting decision there by the junior to take the knee. You know, I'm a fan of just trying to, you know, any given Sunday, any given play, you might be able to break it off and to kind of just.
Well, Mike, to your point, and I mean, obviously Midway has struggled offensively this evening and haven't done a whole lot more defensively. So, you know, maybe they would try to look to a special teams play to give them some kind of jolt or a spark. But anyhow, maybe that's going to have to come off the gifted arm of Wyatt Holland. It just hasn't been able to get it going here tonight. He's going to try again.
Good pressure by South.
Pressure. Holland down.
We've called his name a couple times tonight, but Theodore Wood off the outside, giving Wyatt Holland trouble all night.
Boy, Holland has seen Wood way too many times this evening, that's for sure. Great effort by the senior, Theodore Wood. We'll take another look at that again. Wood has had a splendid first half, as has this entire defensive unit for.
Look at him just chase him down. Holland had to pull it in, had nothing to do.
And I think that's one excited guy there.
Absolutely. I mean, I think he's had 2 tackles for a loss, 1 sack. That's a game already.
It's going to do it for the half here tonight. The score, South Brunswick 26, Midway nothing. You're watching the ATMC High School Game of the Week. And welcome back to the ATMC TV High School Game of the Week. We are in South Brunswick, where the Cougars have just had their way here in the opening half over the visitors from Midway, a 26-0 lead, all on the compliments of young Danny Parker. 4 touchdowns. Parker, a 6-yard TD run in the first quarter, a Prince to Parker 36-yard touchdown pass in the first quarter. That made it 12-0. In the second quarter, Parker continues his great effort, 14-yard run for a score, making it 18-0. And then Parker again plunging in from 1 yard out, and this time a Prince to Parker 2-point conversion pass, and the 26-0 halftime lead for South. Mike, impressive effort offensively and defensively by the Cougars.
Absolutely. We talked about South needing to establish themselves on defense. We talked about South's young offense and how it might stack up against the Midway Raiders, whose defense gave up, 72 points last week.
Yeah.
So, South coming out really impressing on both sides of the ball. Midway offense not able to get going. South is getting a lot of pressure with their just 3 or 4 interior linemen so that they can then cover all the Midway receivers. Theodore Wood, number 53 for South, just having a game from the outside rush position. Danny Parker on the offense, 4 touchdowns. I mean, South is just running on all cylinders at this point. It'll be curious to see if and what Midway can do coming out of the half with adjustments and that sort of thing. South just got to keep doing what they're doing.
Yep, couldn't have said it any better, Michael. And this is a team, Midway, that, as Mike said, they won 80-73 last week over Hobton. And in that game, quarterback Wyatt Holland had a new state game record for touchdowns. He threw 10 touchdowns, 30 of 35 through the air, 618 yards. Tonight, I don't have his statistics, but they are not anywhere near that. He's probably completed 3, maybe 4 passes, and I bet he's under 50 yards throwing the football. A great, great effort by South Brunswick. And as Mike explained to you, they are putting a lot of pressure on Holland and are able at the same time to keep a lot of guys back in the secondary. So a good formula for success here this evening by South Brunswick.
Yeah, Midway only actually had 1 drive go into the South side of the field, and that didn't even make it to the 40-yard line, I don't even think.
And I think that one was one of them was by virtue of a
pass
interference call. So anyway, they say, football, a lot of adjustments are made at the half, and we'll see if Coach Corey Barnes is able to come up with something to start this third quarter. It looks like Hagan Lanier will handle the kickoff chores for the Raiders, and back to receive deep for South Brunswick, I think, is number 6, Antoine Thompson, who, by the way, has had a pretty good first half as well.
Oh, onside kick to open.
Onside kick.
It went 10. Midway got it.
There you go.
That is one way to get the ball back. We talked about South having the opportunity to score before halftime and then get the ball back after half, and Midway went ahead and just picked their pocket with that onside kick.
Well, that's a good effort and execution by Midway. They needed to do something to kind of get momentum going their way. Josh Lupo, I believe, with the recovery. So this is about as good a field position as Midway has had the entire night. They're going to take over 1st and 10 from the South Brunswick 48-yard line, trailing 26-0.
Yeah, South Brunswick special teams coach not going to be too happy about that. Got on those, you're either taught to attack or let it go, and he didn't either.
Again, pressure forces Wyatt Holland out of the pocket.
I think he got about a yard, if that.
And guess what, Mike? I see number 53 walking back over from the side of that field.
Hey.
he was in on the pursuit as he has been all night long.
Yeah, it's hunting him down like a predator animal, man.
So call it 2nd and 10, no gain. Holland looking, bang, no way.
Garrett Frazier shed his blocker, went right into Holland's face and sacked him for about an 8-yard loss.
Mike, you talked about him in the pregame along with Bo Cook and Garrett Frazier, the junior.
Let's go ahead and look at that one again, Jay.
Coming strong off the right side. Take it, Mike.
Look at 38, just hit a rip move. Offensive player had like 2 fingers on him. No chance for Holland to do anything.
Just like a pro, Garrett Frazier, 6'2", 220-pound junior linebacker with the sack. 3rd down. Holland looking, chased again, and he's going down again. And who is it? Who is it?
Theodore Wood called his name several times tonight. He is having a defensive career night right now.
Let me tell you, Theodore Wood.
And honestly, Jay, the Midway Raiders, their offensive line, we talked about Danny Parker moving his feet when he's playing offense. The offensive line from Midway not getting their feet going. They're just sitting on their heels, just waiting to absorb these rushers.
Boy, I'll tell you, Wood, speed, quickness, and strength.
And 60 for Midway. Gives up the sack and doesn't even help his quarterback back up.
That's not good. Good punt.
Excellent ball.
Parker.
Sheds. Oh, another pancake. 15. They're going to call him, I think, for a blindside hit, but I look clean to me. Mason Howlett. Probably going to get a 15-yarder there, Jay.
That's at least.
Yeah, he's getting a talking to as well. Referee said that's too good of a hit there, bud.
But that would be the second ATMC TV game of the week. Pancake hit, this time by number 15, Mason Hallett. Unfortunately, the officials didn't like what they saw, so we're going to mark off some yards against the Cougars.
Yeah, I don't think they count if you get a penalty.
Can't get that $5 coupon if you had a penalty, huh?
No.
You had 6 of them in one game?
Absolutely, yes.
My gosh, you and your girlfriend, now your wife, you must have been eating all day long.
Yeah, I had a couple meals at Bob Evans on that.
All right, 10:20 to go, 3rd quarter. South Brunswick with a commanding 26-0 lead against the visitors from Midway High School. That's Parker, and this time Danny P cannot get going and credits some good penetration by number 52, Grant Bearwood, I believe, Mike.
Yeah, this is the South's worst field position of the night, starting deep in their end zone. This allows the Midway Raiders to try to get after South, be aggressive at the line, try to make the sophomore quarterback make a mistake.
Yeah, good observation. They need a turnover. They need something big to get back in. Prince's pass underthrown that time. That would have had to have been a tremendous catch by Antoine Thompson. So it's going to set up a 3rd and 10 from the South Brunswick 17-yard line.
Unfortunately, we've seen that a couple times tonight, throwing the ball a little low. Probably, again, trying just to not make that mistake, trying to put the ball where only his guy could get it. Just needs to get it up a little bit.
Yeah, sometimes, just thinking a little bit too much. Handoff, Parker. Bounces, cuts, down. Picks up probably 3 or 4, but it's going to be 4th down for South Brunswick. So punting situation for the Cougars, a good defensive possession that time for the Midway Raiders.
Yeah, this is going to be the only first real punt from South all night. We had a little pooch punt down there earlier in the first half. First big defensive stop by Midway. Should end up with some good field position. So far, so good. They can't be too upset with how they've come out.
And they need a big play, and maybe it'll be on special teams.
Low snap, low kick, though. It should roll if he doesn't catch it. He caught it, though.
Got a chance to return this one. And he's going to do it. 30, 25, knocked out of bounds by the kicker at the South Brunswick 21-yard line. Noah Harrell with the touchdown, perhaps saving tackle. And I think that was Gregory on the return.
Yeah, we talked about South not getting complacent with a 26-0 lead. You have to come out with your foot still on the gas. because if you start getting complacent, that's when Wyatt Holland
Well, and look, as you
slinging it.
Good point, Mike. And look, these kids, I don't care who they were playing last week, they still put 80 points on the game, on the board. So they have some potential. And they got a chance now, best field position of the game, 1st and 10 from the South Brunswick 21-yard line, and it came on a special teams play.
Looks like we got Holland with Dustin Williams stacked right behind him.
And it's Williams straight up the middle, and a good carry that time by the sophomore running back, Dustin Williams. He's going to drag his way to about 4 or 5 yard gain.
To the 17-yard line.
Pick up of 4, call it 2nd down 6 from the Cougar 17.
Gain of 4, 2nd and 6.
Setting up in a very similar set again for 2nd down.
Wyatt Holland fakes this time. No, he doesn't. And who's got him? Who's got him?
I think that's Garrett Frazier again.
Yeah, he's starting to assert himself, he being the junior. And he was there the same time. I thought Holland was going to pull that ball out of the belly of Dustin Williams, but he really didn't have any choice because of this. Watch
Let's go ahead
it.
and look at that again. It's easy when you fill all the gaps to make the tackle in the backfield. They got gassed for about 6. Decided, hey, let's just send somebody up the A gap, and Frazier went in there and just met him at the handoff.
They're down. Holland looking over the right side, and that was going to be called pass interference, but number 12, is it? Or 15? Mason Hallett on the coverage, but he's going to get called for pass interference.
Apparently he was playing just a little too tight.
That was close. Pretty well thrown ball that time by Holland. And good coverage, maybe, as you said, Mike, maybe too good a coverage that time by the senior Mason Hallett. So, going to set up a 1st down for the visitors from Midway. And I'm looking to see if it's going to be 1st and 10 or 1st and goal.
Looks like it's going to be 1st and 10.
Just outside that 10-yard line. So Midway can get a 1st down and not get a touchdown.
Oh, fumble.
Errant snap. Holland smartly falls on it. 24, that's Brendan Hoagland in to make sure that that Holland does nothing. So back it up maybe 7 yards that time. Loss of 7, 2nd down, 17.
But again, the key here, Jay, is Midway can still get a 1st down. They don't have to score.
Trips to the right. Holland looking left. Now looking right. Now he's looking at the ground. Big time rush by you-know-who.
Theodore Wood, 4 or 5 tackles for a loss, 2 or 3 sacks. He's having a career night.
Well, he had lots of friends that time. There were a lot of blue shirts in there, but you're right. Theodore Wood, as he has done so many times this evening, leading the way. Look at him.
Yeah, he's having his way with these tackles for the Midway Raiders. Again, we talk about moving your feet and how important it is, and Theodore Wood just catching that tackle on his heels.
Yeah, they have consistently, they being South, consistently won the battle at the line of scrimmage here tonight. Holland, right, pressure, down again. Who is it?
Garrett Frazier looked like.
Wow.
Man, we called it earlier. We said Frazier keyed in the defense. He's having a great night as well. I mean, the whole South defense is playing as a unit exceptionally well, especially for week 2 football.
Mike, that's a great observation about, the entire unit. There's been certain kids tonight who have kind of stood out, but, I think collectively it's been a collective team defensive effort by South. And right now, 4th down, 29 yards to go for Midway.
What do you even do here? Throw it across the middle. Doesn't matter. It's about as good as that pooch punt was earlier from South.
Just about the same. That's a completion to Casey Colbreth, but nowhere near the first down. So South Brunswick bends but does not break.
Unfortunately, on that play, it looks like Mason Howlett coming off with a little bit of hitch in his giddy up. Hopefully it's just a cramp. Walking it off on the sideline as we speak.
I hope so. Howlett, a very valuable performer for South Brunswick, the 5'10" senior cornerback. And here's the sophomore. I'm going to juke you a little bit, huh? Looky here. Jamison Prince, he went to dance school.
All you got to do is make one guy miss, and you gain 5-6 yards.
That's an excellent effort by the sophomore. We're going to go under 5 minutes here in the third quarter. Pick up a 7 for South Brunswick, enjoying a 26-0 lead.
Yeah, we talked earlier in the first half, South with a good change of pace, going quick, taking their time. Looks like they're taking their time again here.
Thompson, nothing doing this time.
Yeah, that's tough. Thompson's been their outside guy, the guy they're trying to take the corner. And unfortunately for Thompson, Midway defense played that perfectly.
Good effort by the Raiders. Now sets up a 3rd down and 4. Ball is on the South Brunswick 20-yard line. Let's see what the young sophomore Jamison Prince dials up on this play. Maybe Parker.
He's had a quiet second half so far.
Fakes the Parker over the middle. Nice delivery.
Great grab in traffic. Tight window there for Prince to feed that ball, and he went ahead and sent it.
Absolutely stepped through that one, and the catch by Michael Shrewberry, the 5'10" junior. Excellent catch.
Key to that pass, Jay, he brought it up just about 1.5 feet.
Yeah, as opposed to the one earlier. Great call, Mike. You're absolutely right.
High snap. Got it down into Parker's hands, but couldn't do much.
Trying to see the number of that Midway defensive player. I think it is number 33, and I don't see a 33 on my roster for them, so unfortunately do not know his name, but he made a pretty good play that time. Anytime you can stop Danny Parker behind the line of scrimmage, good play.
High snap's tough because it's all about timing, and you know, if Danny Parker gets that ball half second sooner, he probably hits the hole and probably gets 5 yards.
Life is timing. Running the football is timing as well. Sets up 2nd down and 9.
Another high snap, but he gets it down
Parker again. And another good effort by the Midway defensive unit, that time number 22, Josh Lupo, a 5'8", 160-pound junior in on the stop. Good containment to the outside that time, forced Parker in, and the defense did the rest.
Hey, going to go ahead and give a shout-out to number 55, Brian Parker, on the Midway Raiders. He's playing nose tackle. He's clearly getting into the head of the center. He must be doing something right.
3rd down for Prince. 7 yards for a first. 2:20 on a running clock, 3rd quarter.
It's 3 in a row.
Oh, there he is. How many catches tonight for that guy, Abram?
Again, Prince just feeding it into a gap. For a sophomore, he's throwing the ball with some confidence, even with those kind of ground balls and early miss. Here we could see it again.
Look at that, nice delivery and a nice catch by by Abram, Basil Abram. He knows he's going to get whacked that time, but he doesn't take his eye off the ball. 1st down, Cougars, and yeah, you know, Prince is a sophomore, but he's not playing like a sophomore.
Yeah, Prince threw that between 2 Midway defenders and the referee.
Threaded the needle. Parker inside for a couple. And he is thrown to the turf. That number 33 that we don't have, but number 42 we do. That's Dustin Williams, the sophomore for Midway. So pick up a 3 by Parker. 2nd down, 7. Ball at the 48-yard line of South Brunswick. 1 minute 10 seconds to go in the third quarter. South Brunswick 26, Midway nothing.
Yeah, South taking their time. Let it run down, boys.
Oh, we had him. And we're looking for a penalty, and you may have got one.
Flag on the play on
Shrewsbury's hands went up in the air immediately, thinking he was held, and he was right. Pass interference is going to go against the Raiders. So South Brunswick is going to pick up a first down. Shrewsbury pass receiver and officiator that time, Mike.
Yeah, hey, if you can throw your hands in the air and get the call, might as well try. I mean, we see wide receivers do that all the time, honestly.
Absolutely, and that is a huge field change for South Brunswick. It's going to move the ball down to the 38-yard line of Midway, and a new set of downs for Jamison Prince.
This is looking eerily similar to that first drive South had in the game. Just kind of chunking away, get a couple penalties, and get into Midway territory.
That's Thompson knocked down by Kendrick Tyndall for Midway. So
looks like they'll have to get one more playoff before the end of the quarter.
And maybe Thompson got up to the line of scrimmage. And, Mike, I think you're right. Perhaps one more play here in the third quarter. Cougars looking to the sidelines for the call, and they got it. Let's see what Jamison Prince is going to do. Thompson,
sends
left
it to
side.
the outside.
Thompson around the corner, knocked out of bounds at the Raider 30-yard line.
Thompson getting a good little chunk there, but he went out of bounds. So we've got 3.2 seconds left.
So it's going to set up a 3rd down and 3 for South. And as Mike mentioned, only 3.2 seconds left here in the third quarter. The ball marked at the Midway 30-yard line. I see Bo Cook in that backfield. He might block somebody.
Thompson went up the middle. A little change of pace there for South.
Thompson up and up. Might have a yard or two on that forward progress. And that will bring an end to the third quarter. They'll switch sides.
That's going to do it for the third quarter action here tonight from South Brunswick. Nobody scored in period number 3, but South Brunswick scored a lot in the first 2 quarters, and they'll go to this third quarter break with a 26-0 lead. You're watching the ATMC TV High School Game of the Week. We are back here at South Brunswick High School, where the Cougars are enjoying a 26-0 lead over the visitors from Midway High School in Dunn, North Carolina. The Cats come out. It is 4th down and 1 yard to go. The ball on the Midway 28-yard line. Looks like they're going to run, Mike.
Give it to the workhorse, Cody Parker, the athlete. Hits it, spins it, takes it inside the 10. Ball out at about the 3-yard line.
Wow.
And more
Danny Parker.
Taken out of bounds.
Danny Parker with a 23-yard gouge and a first down for South Brunswick. Man, you know, Mike, I meant to say this when we came back from the break. 4 touchdowns in the first half for Parker. He scored only 4 touchdowns the entire spring season this year, right? So obviously having one whale of a contest here tonight, picked a good game to do it.
Absolutely. He's labeled as an athlete, and he's proved nothing less tonight.
So first down and goal from the 5 for South Brunswick. Sophomore Prince hands off to Parker.
Keeps his legs going.
And
My
what
goodness,
strength.
he
Is
gets
in?
into the end zone for his 5th touchdown of the night, Jay.
That ain't right. That ain't legal, but we are sure going to enjoy it. Danny Parker, 5-yard touchdown run, his 5th of the game. 32 South, nothing Midway.
Look at him just churn his legs. They make contact at the 5-yard line. He just keeps it going. Make contact again at the 2, and he still manages to squirrel his way into the end zone.
Mike, that's that motor, that heart that you were talking about earlier. Point after by Noah Harrell splits the uprights.
Extra point is good.
And that's where, Jay, sometimes, size is great, but if you got heart, that might trump it more times than not.
Well, and that may be a good example. I mean, Parker, not a real big dude at 5'9", 180 pounds, but exceedingly strong, awfully tough, and as you've said many times here this evening, just keeps those legs moving.
Yeah, he's like a diesel engine. Just keeps going. Can't stop.
Shot of the South cheerleaders. You talk about somebody that is keeping things going tonight. Look at the Cougar cheerleaders. A lot to cheer about here this evening at South Brunswick. A commanding 33-0 lead. Look, I thought the Cougs had a shot at this game tonight. I really did, but not a 33-point shot.
Absolutely. We thought it was going to be kind of a back-and-forth battle. Both surprised by the score offensively and the score defensively.
Absolutely. Splendid. And now 7 consecutive quarters to start this 2021 season for this South Brunswick defense. Has not given up a point yet this year. Hope I didn't put the mojo on them then, but the way they're playing here this evening, I very much doubt it.
We'll see, Jay. We're pretty good announcers, but we are not the CBS announcers who tend to jinx people.
No, we are not. Well, let me back up. I am not, okay? You school's still out on you, right?
Yeah.
They're trying you out, but we'll see. There's the kickoff. And that's returned.
It's like Nate Smith with the return, trying to get something going, but gets tackled down again. Great lane discipline by South on the coverage there.
Smith out to the 25-yard line, and as Dr. Mike said, great special teams coverage by the Cougars, and Midway kind of in trouble. Down 33 points here in the fourth quarter. Prolific offense last week, but not this week, at least so far. We'll see what Wyatt Holland can do about that.
Look for Theodore Wood to continue to get off the ball here and eat.
Holland keeps it. Nothing. No going and a flag to boot. We'll see how that goes. But, yeah, you mentioned Wood, and he's around the ball. There's number 15, Hallett, around the ball. Bo Kook around the ball. A lot of those blue shirt Cougars around the ball tonight. Holding Midway.
And when you're trying to get something going, you're willing to do anything. And unfortunately for Midway, they got caught.
Well, like you told me last week, if you don't get caught, it's okay.
Absolutely. It's only cheating if you get caught.
That's
Jay.
right. It's only when you get caught. And one of the Raiders got caught that time, so we're going to walk it back 15 yards. It's going to be first down and 10 yards, I'm sorry. First down and 20, ball at the 15-yard line of Midway.
Yeah, if you don't get caught cheating, it's called a competitive advantage.
There you go. Not much competitive advantage tonight for Midway. Pressure gets by. Wyatt.
Wow.
Good effort. Good effort.
Got all the yards back from the holding call there. Broke several tackles. Ian Dwight had him dead to rights in the backfield and just kind of got shed, unfortunately, for South.
Ian's going to be thinking about that one tonight because, as you expertly described, he had a real open shot on Wyatt Holland. But credit Holland that time, showing some athleticism and getting the ball out.
Yeah, it can be kind of tough when everybody else on the team's eating and you haven't had a bite yet. You get a little antsy.
Once again, great secondary coverage. And guess what? That time, Ian Dwight did get a little piece of him.
Dwight with the initial contact.
So Holland knocked out of bounds.
On the finish.
Going to make it 3rd and 10 from, call it the 26, maybe 3rd and 9 from the 26.
Yeah, they obviously haven't had much for this down and distance today, but we know they have it and they're capable of it, so it'll be interesting to see what Midway tries to pull out here.
Well, as you've said many times this evening, Michael, the secondary of South Brunswick has just been locked down all night, and they've gotten good pressure. They're coming this time, maybe a little too quick.
No, they got Midway trying to get that competitive advantage, get off the ball a little early, and making it a little bit more difficult for the Raiders.
Demarius Wise, number 65, the big guy in the interior of that South Brunswick line. Just, man, he said, "Holy moly, it's, I rush in here and then I got to lay down here and take just a quick break." And he did, but he's back up for more. He's had a whale of a game. Yeah,
the pass rushers for South, the interior linemen have had just excellent positioning and motor today, and it helps with the South offense just sustaining those long drives. There you go.
Oh, and that's the big guy right there.
Big boy caught him at the line of scrimmage.
Woo!
Again, good motor, and you can have that motor when you are only playing a series or two a quarter.
That was, I believe, number 2, Trey Gregory, 5'9", 140 pounds, who caught this little comeback pass.
Yeah, look at the nose tackle, sheds his 2 blockers, comes back in and eats
the
Midway Raider receiver at the line of scrimmage.
The big boy, Demarius Wise, with an outstanding play. So 4th down, 16 for Midway. And they are in punting.
Yeah, South's got to be careful here. They might be trying to get cheeky, might be trying to get a little desperate. Got underneath it, got real high. Let it go, boys.
Pretty good bounce for Midway, and it's going to roll across the 50.
A Midway bounce and rolls dead on the Cougar 49-yard.
Still good field possession for South Brunswick to start this particular possession.
Absolutely, though. This is where South has made their bread and butter. This is where they scored all their points, from starting with it between the 50 and the 40.
Yeah, they played a lot of short field tonight, Mike. That's a real good point on your part. And they got another opportunity here ahead with a 33-0 lead. 8:37 to go here in the 4th and final quarter at South Brunswick High School.
Yeah, when you're starting at the 50, I mean, the playbook's wide open. There's no reservations. You can do anything that you want.
And they have been all night long. Handoff. That's number 6, Antoine Thompson.
Switching it up, letting him go up the middle for a nice little gain there.
With your coach, Rocky Lewis, you got to be happy with the way your kids have played tonight, and happy with plays like that you gain 5 yards, the clock is moving, the chains are getting ready to move, hopefully, but the ball is moving north-south. So South all their way here this evening.
Absolutely, Jay. I don't expect them to put it in the air too much. Look at Prince with the keeper. On the tries to get the guy, doesn't get taken down, gets an extra yard or 2.
Well, looky here, it was a battle of 7s. Baggett for Midway, and of course Jamison Prince for South. Now I think his helmet came off, and if it did, that means he's going to have to sit out at least a play.
Go ahead, look at it here, Jay. Hits the guy, meets him, and just keeps going. The helmet did come off. So who are we going to have in the quarterback position
that's
there?
what we're looking right now. I believe Antoine Thompson is, I thought was one of the backup quarterbacks. I see 6-0 check at number 12,
Mark
Bishop. Another sophomore who I understand can play. They had a pretty good battle in preseason.
I was hoping we were going to get a little wishbone there, Jay.
That would be fun, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Mark Bishop unable to handle the snap. Takes about a 7 to 10, more like a 10-yard loss.
It's tough coming in there cold. Like that, you know, and
even when it's 90 degrees outside.
Even when we're sweating, like, there's no tomorrow.
The body internal temperature.
Oh, my gosh.
Still a little cold on the muscles.
You know, and the jitters and the excitement, and, you know. This is their home opener. They were on the road last week in that nice win against Richlands. And so first time that the locals have been able to see them. And they put on a good show. 2nd and 21. Another poor snap.
Screenplay. And he dropped it.
Whoa. That had some possibilities for Antoine Thompson.
Absolutely. The Midway Raiders getting aggressive because they got nothing else that they can do. So South tries to throw the screen behind them and had it. They had it.
They had it until they didn't. 3rd and 21.
Prince throws a deep ball. We haven't seen a deep ball all night.
Oh, just missed. Who was?
I lied. That's the second deep ball we saw go off the fingertips, Jay, unfortunately.
And the intended receiver is Basil Abram. Boy, that was close, Mike.
It's a beautiful ball. And you know what? The nice thing, he didn't make it, but Prince is only a sophomore, so he's only going to get better. We're only going to see that for the next couple of years.
Well, let me tell you, he has put on quite a show here this evening, and his confidence has just got to be growing and growing and growing. Sets up a punting situation for the Cougs. Noah Harrell handles punts, I think.
Goodness.
Bad snap. He's going to try to make something out of it.
Got it off. Oh, look at that roll, Jay.
Oh, my gosh. When it's your
night. Look at that roll.
When it's your night, it's your night. And this just very well might be South Brunswick night. Noah Harrell making chicken soup out of chicken feathers.
Absolutely best outcome you could expect or hope for after a snap like that.
He must have, see that ball, he was on the 47, and they're going to mark it at the 22, and considering he kicked it from about the 25.
Jay, I hate it when announcers do this, but that was a rugby kick if I ever seen one.
Hey, he's a senior.
Let's look at it here. Between his legs, he gets it. Ball goes to the 34-yard line.
Look
running
at it.
Sideways, gets it, and he gets a nice end-over-end roll.
Let me tell you, he might be in that rugby club before long.
Hey, we'll take him if he wants to.
Pressure.
Oh, my goodness.
Holy, well, wait a minute.
They're going to get him for personal foul, helmet to helmet or something, but that was the biggest hit we've seen of the night by Noah Harrell.
That's the biggest hit we've seen in our 2 games on the early season. And
it's as a defender, that's so tough because you can't adjust your body on the fly when the offensive player goes down like that.
A big-time hit.
And honestly, when people talk about it, it's not it's not intentional. You don't go into it trying to hit somebody with your helmet.
I'm not sure, particularly at this level, right? So
absolutely.
We'll watch it again. This is the quarterback escaping, and right here he gets drilled by number 10, Harrell. Now, the good news is Wyatt Holland popped up, and that we're happy about that. And of course, Midway.
15,
happy as well.
15 yards, probably biggest play of the night for Midway Raiders.
One of them for sure. So first down and 10, ball on the Midway 41-yard line, 5:55 on a running clock in the 4th quarter. Holland over the middle. Another hit by Harrell. Oh, my goodness.
Can't call a penalty on that one. That was all shoulder and all ribs.
Not that time, Mike. Yeah, we got to, for the rugby team, I think we need to be doing a little recruiting. You said you don't have to be a giant like you to play this game. So number 10, Noah Harrell. Now, he's pretty good. 5'11", 175, and he's going to grow a little bit more. He's a senior. There you go. He recruited ace director Aaron Varnum
It's tough for a guy like me to recruit people, though, because they see me and they
Yeah.
I'm too big.
Yeah, you need to send me out to do the recruiting. Second down, pressure.
Oh,
Holland escapes the first, but not the second.
Theodore Wood almost had a 5th tackle for a loss for the night, but
So he left him. He left him for Garrett Frazier, number 38, to finish up.
slowed him down just enough to still get the loss of 3.
Well, I'll tell you what, poor Wyatt Holland, I think, still some time left to go here. Going to be a long bus ride back to Dunn tonight.
What a yin and yang performance week 1 to week 2, unfortunately, for Holland.
Effort that time, Holland with the ride, but keeps the ball, and he's ridden down to the turf. Number 5, Bishop Brown in on that stop.
Wood in on the stop on that one.
Wood as well, so sets up 4th down and 9, punting situation for Midway with just under 5 minutes to go here at South Brunswick High School. The Cougars a commanding 33-0 lead.
Absolutely shocked they're not trying to go for it, try to get some points on the board. South caught off guard. They weren't ready for it, but we got our boy Danny Parker back there directing traffic, telling people to get away from the ball.
So that one's going to roll to a stop at the 31, but is there a flag?
We'll see.
Officials are discussing. Call is against Midway,
Is that an illegal substitution?
and I'm not sure.
I guess they subbed and didn't give South time to match, I guess.
Maybe that's why South was kind of scrambling there at the end, but let's let the officials sort it out. Right now the ball is at the, 31-yard line of South Brunswick.
Referees having a conference.
See what South offense can do, see what they decide to do with 4 minutes, 30 seconds left to go in this game. I mean, we talked about Wyatt Holland being the North Carolina Player of the Week last week. Danny Parker putting on a performance that should put him in the running.
I'll tell you what, let's send his name over to Raleigh so they can take a look at his performance, because it has been a Player of the Week worthy.
Absolutely. 4 rushing touchdowns, 1 receiving touchdown, 2-point conversion that he battled for. That athlete putting on a show for the South Brunswick Cougars.
So what are we going to do, Mike? We're going to kick it again? I guess so. We're going to mark it back. Well, I give up.
I mean, it's hard to know when the refs don't know.
This is where, well, wait a minute. They're marking it. It's against South Brunswick.
Oh, my goodness.
But now instead of punting, they have their offensive.
Got a report for you Cougars fans. And the Cougars, they're good every year. 24-7 lead over Scotland at Scotland. That is a big-time victory for Cougars. They're going to be tough. Well, they're not going to be. They are. Holland
Nothing.
pulls it down. And he's going to pick up the first down and keep the chains moving for Midway.
That's going to be enough for a first down for Midway.
Yeah, interesting turn of events there for the Midway Raiders to go ahead and get the first down. Punted it on 4th and 10 or whatever it was and got the 5-yard penalty and able to pick up the first down with a Holland run.
Guess they didn't have that play in their playbook, but they had the second one, and thanks to some effort by Wyatt Holland, they pick it up. So 1st and 10 for the Raiders. 3:59 to go here
South's
in the fourth quarter.
A lot of space on that outside, but the rush makes them roll to the right.
Boy, that's close. Is it intercepted? Nope. Good coverage. Look who's back there. Holland or Parker's back there, 15. Hallett's back there. Intended receiver was number 8, Casey Colbreth.
The intended receiver.
So that's going to set it up for a 2nd and 10 from 47-yard line of South Brunswick. 3:50 to go here in the fourth and final quarter. Wyatt Holland looking for the snap. Fake.
Oh, my goodness.
Pressure and down goes Holland. Wow. 24, Mike.
Let the quarterback in the backfield. Back on
Brendan
Hoagland?
Hoagland, yeah.
side of the 50.
Wow. Man, did he come clean.
It's like watching a car accident. Everybody saw it about to happen. Let's
Watch
go ahead
it again.
and see it again.
Tell us about it, Michael.
Looks like the two edge rushers just came from nowhere. 24 not even touched. 38, I think that is. Garrett Frazier.
Yeah, they were both there. Boy, Holland, one of the few times I've seen him this evening, he just kind of like slammed the ball down in the turf that time. I think he's tired of seeing blue shirts in his face.
Absolutely.
3rd and 15. No going.
Oh,
Gang tackling in the center of that South Brunswick front 7. Maybe a yard.
Comes off.
It's going to make it 4th down
Does
and
bring up
15.
4th down, 4th and 14.
Correction, 4th down and 14. So in punting formation is Midway.
again, interesting move for the Raiders to punt. Looks like we got something going on.
Good
Great
kick.
boot.
Yeah, Parker.
Parker's got it.
He's
Oh,
down.
couldn't keep his feet. He saw a green light, too, down that sideline.
That was Nate Smith with the punt. Danny Parker with a short return. So South Brunswick going to take over. Looks like at about their 15-yard line. 1st down and 10. 2:29 to go. So if the Cougars can get a 1st down or 2 here, Mike, they could run this clock out and get out of here with a extremely impressive 33-0 victory.
Absolutely.
With the owner of
Total team performance from South today.
Edward X-ray
Offense, defense, firing on all cylinders. Special teams doing well, too.
4252. Please report
Thompson
to your
up the
vehicle.
middle.
He's run hard tonight, Mike.
Red in color.
Nice 1-2 combination running the football, and Antoine Thompson and the athlete Danny Parker. Sophomore quarterback Jamison Prince does not play like a sophomore. At least he has not tonight.
Absolutely. We talked about it, doing just enough to keep everything moving ahead for an impressive 33-point scoring.
You know, no
game.
turnovers.
Absolutely.
You know, run this attack very well.
Antoine Thompson brings up
We're
second
under 2
down
minutes.
Cougars.
Thompson again, trying to get to the
Oh, he
outside.
did.
He does.
He did.
He's at the 30, 35.
Thompson into the open field, taken out of bounds near the 40-yard
And
line.
typically you'd want to stay in the bounds for that, let the clock run down some more. But if you get a 1st down,
That's enough
I think it's a wash.
Yeah, the clock's going to stop anyway, right? So, Antoine Thompson adds to his impressive evening of rushing the football, picking up a 1st down for South Brunswick. Going to be spotted at their 40-yard line. 1st and 10, 1:35 to go.
Prince kept it to the right side.
Prince keeps it himself
Again,
around the
staying
right
in
side,
bounds, letting that
gaining
clock run down.
2
Smart play by
to the 42.
Jamison Prince.
That'll bring up a 2nd and 8 for the Cougars.
South Brunswick really playing the clock right now.
On 1 minute 15
Yeah, if they just let it go all the way down, they should be able to pretty much seal it.
Probably, yeah, be very judicious with these next play or 2. We'll be under 1 minute when Prince takes the snap. Thompson up the middle.
Thompson the carrier, time to strip him of the
Hey,
ball.
Thompson.
And that might very well do it or close to it, Mike.
It will be close. Depends on. Looks like we're going to have about 5 seconds left, so one more play.
20
3rd down.
seconds left, and we have 25 seconds on the play clock. So a 5-second differential between the play clock and the game clock.
So 3rd down 7, under 20 seconds to go. South Brunswick on the verge of starting their season 2-0 and pitching the 2nd consecutive shutout. It has been a dominating effort tonight for South Brunswick as quarterback Jamison Prince takes a knee, and that is going to do it. We're going to take a look at Coach Rocky Lewis and his happy South Brunswick Cougars. 5 touchdowns on the night for the athlete, Danny Parker, and a wonderful, wonderful job by a host of defensive players, Mike, for South.
Absolutely stunning performance from the South defense, coming in against a team that scored 80 points last week, pitching a shutout, like you said, for the 2nd week in a row. South's going to be a formidable opponent for anybody coming down the pipe.
Tell you what, they got a good team. They got things going the right way, and that is a dominating effort tonight by Rocky Lewis's South Brunswick Cougars. Well, that's going to wrap it up for everybody here at South Brunswick. For Mike, for Aaron, for Nathan, for Jake, I'm Jay. The final tonight, South Brunswick 33, Midway nothing. Thanks for watching ATMC TV. Good night, everybody.